So, according to Deadline, Robert Eggers, although nothing is official, he is going to be writing and directing A Christmas Carol, and he's looking to cast Willem Dafoe as Ebenezer Scrooge. And our first thoughts, or my first reaction, are like, that's fucking great. Let's go.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's very cool.
Wouldn't it be cool if it was like a rated R, like horror?
Oh my god! Well, it could go that way. I could see him doing that.
Because a Christmas Carol, and weirdly actually, the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
The Zemeckis one.
The Zemeckis one. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Zemeckis.
Yeah.
In particular, that's one of my favorite Zemeckis films. I know it's weird. I know it's kind of like, it's kind of like a nothing movie. It's been done thousands of times, but just the way he replicated it. And directed it was just fantastic. The animation is kind of dated, not as bad compared to Polar Express.
It's very Polar Express-ish, that's a topic for another video.
Yeah, that's
how terrifying some of that looks.
Whole rabbit hole, but I mean, there are elements of A Christmas Carol that are obviously just dark horror. Yeah. And it's cool.
It's gothic.
It's gothic. That's the perfect word for it.
Gothic.
So it's like, it'd be cool to see it like really dive into that kind of, aspect of the story. Yeah. And he's a great director for it. But The Northman is a film that I can't really speak of because I saw it once. I didn't really have a reaction to it.
No, we saw it together.
Yeah, we saw it together. You loved it.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. It fell flat to me. Nosferatu. Didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I was the same with that because I wanted to give Nosferatu the benefit of the doubt, and just something was missing. It's like all the pieces were there.
Yeah,
all the technical elements, which with all of his films are like sublime. It's always top tier. Like no one is saying he can't direct. Like my god, he can direct.
Yeah, the cinematography was great.
Nosferatu,
some of the shots were
everything.
Fantastic.
But there was just something missing. And look, it's not to say all his films are like have a ton of heart, but with The Witch and The Lighthouse, I just came out, feeling something. I didn't really feel anything when it came to Nosferatu.
Did you? So you liked The Lighthouse?
You
liked The Witch. Sorry.
No, I really liked The Witch, especially for his debut film.
Yeah, I think The Witch is a really good horror film.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. Again, I'm pretty much on board with you. Yeah, because Nosferatu, I remember we were speaking about it. And we were really hyped for it because, again, he is very good at horror. He's fantastic at horror. But it was so kind of, it just felt very mandated in terms of just like, it was like definitely his most accessible kind of just commercial kind of film that didn't really have the indie spirit anymore.
Well, the funny thing is, I think The Northman is actually his most commercial film, but I prefer that.
Yeah.
But then I guess I'm like more of a fan of these like fantasy epics. I know you like Game of Thrones.
But I guess The Northman is kind of more, it's more distinct. Like we've seen vampire gothic films like so many fucking times, We've seen it countless times.
Because he actually said that The Northman, that was his toughest experience.
Was it?
Like working with the studio. So it's interesting that you say that Nosferatu felt quite like mandated.
Very, 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 yeah. It felt very... It's funny that you speak about the sound design. I actually thought the sound design was really bad.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the sound design was way too over the top. It was just full of so many loud bang noises all the fucking time. There was always music in the background. There was always just this manipulative. It was just very manipulative just in terms of the sound design. To the point where it's just like, I've heard all these fucking bang, clangs, all that shit so many times in horror films. When you know what I mean? It's just like, it's so cliche at this point. And it was just like, this is like, I'm watching this film and I'm just like, I've seen this many fucking times.
This is giving like old man shouting at the clouds. You're saying, oh.
No, but it's
sound design.
No, but the sound design, and there's something annoys me about horror films in particular. It's like, why does it have to be so loud? Like with horror, like you obviously liked it, but like, why does a horror film have to be so loud? It's a horror film. Calm it down. How are we supposed to feel any sense of genuine fear and tension if it's just constant fucking loud noise? And
but do you not think maybe it was his tribute to the period in which the original Nosferatu was made?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't think he did it well. I think he did it over the top. It was over the top. That's the thing. Like music. Don't get me wrong. Music's great. Musical cues in horror films are just like fantastic. Music and horror films go hand in hand together. But you know, when it's so constant, it has no meaning to it. It has no feel to it, and that's maybe why you've had felt no like there was no heart there, because
No,
it was just
instead of adding to the atmosphere, it becomes like window dressing.
Exactly. It was just
but
like
not in a good way, where it's just like it feels like okay, this is just it's there.
I just hate that.
Like
it's manipulative, just in the sense of just like, this is scary because the music is telling you it's scary, rather than just silence. There's so many scenes in the Nosferatu film that, and in a lot of horror films, really, this is me just ranting about horror films at this point, but where it's just like, if the music was stripped away and you really just had the bare bones of the scene, it was just raw, and you didn't have all these fucking musical cues in the background and thumps and all that shit. I hate it in particular. I don't know if you feel the same thing, but you know when like there's like a sound that you can hear that you can tell is so not in universe of the film. You can so hear that it was a sound effect.
ADR.
Yeah.
And
it's
like the effects library. Yeah.
Like what's an example, like with The Visit, where like the granny character is going like "Grrr!" Like there's like a growl like from a demon, and you're like, who the fuck made that noise? She's an old lady. What the hell? It just takes you out of it so much. And there was loads of moments like that in Nosferatu.
Yeah. But then why do you think The Lighthouse worked so well?
Because The Lighthouse was just
film.
Totally different.
Yeah.
It was just, like I said, it just had that indie spirit. It was just, and it didn't. That's the thing. It had a lot of musical moments in it, but it also had a lot of moments where it was just dead silent, and it was just you could really get the sense that you were on that island with that lighthouse. You were living there with these characters. You felt so claustrophobic and just with them, and it was just the sound design in itself. You could hear the seagulls and the ocean, all that stuff. It sucked you into it in such a kind of unmanipulative way. In particular, I have a real hatred for manipulative shit like that, you know, with music.
And the black and white as well.
The black and white.
Which, you know, for some people, they might say it's very, like, you know, snobby and pretentious. I mean, you've come to the right podcast conversation. But
and the 4:3.
But I think the black and white works so perfectly. I don't think The Lighthouse would have the same effect if it was in colour.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it works brilliantly.
Yeah, and I especially love the fact that, especially during the those dialogue scenes, like the monologue from Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Where it starts with the what.
Oh, great!
Just the build up is amazing.
Great
and
scene.
You know, no music.
Can you imagine if there was music there? Like,
it would
just ruin it.
completely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about Nosferatu. It's just like, it's almost as if the studio was just saying like, let's put some music here. Let's put some music here because it will make people, you know. And it was just a shame, you know. It was again. I'm always down to see what he's doing. I'm always, I'm always interested in what he's doing. I think he's an unbelievably talented director.
Oh yeah, no,
unbelievably,
It's like with Sean Baker. He's one of the best directors working today.
And me in particular, a fan of horror. I've got and how exciting that he's doing Christmas Carol.
And like, if it's any Dickens story, it has to be that one.
Yeah. That's great.
When I would think, what would suit Robert Eggers the most? Definitely A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And just the thought of Willem Dafoe as Scrooge. That's quite exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
He just crushes it, like everything he does.
Yeah.